Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Blazekiller, and today we are back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling y'all the complete history of the skull in Lumber Tycoon 2. Technically, it's called the Eerie Skull, and this skull has a long history. It was first added in the 2016 Halloween event. It wasn't actually added into the game itself, but only to the files. However, people actually exploited it into the game, and we'll talk all about its history in today's video. So I'm going to be heading over to where it was actually first introduced. It was introduced under Bob's Shack, which is interesting. So it wasn't, again, available for purchase. However, people did exploit it into the game because it was added into the files. So let's flash back to the 2016 Halloween event. This event added a lot of new features, including the skull that we're going to be talking about in today's video. It added the dark pumpkin, which is kind of like the purplish pinkish pumpkin. It added the ostrich eye, which allowed you to go down into the new biome, the lone cave, to get the new wood, the phantom wood. It also introduced the end times update along with the end times axe, and it introduced as well the skull that we're going to be talking about more in today's video. So right underneath Bob's Shack, pretty much, I'll post some pictures on the screen, I probably already have, of this skull, and it was located right underneath here. So you can actually like zoom out. I can't zoom out anymore. I think if you shift lock on PC, you can do that. Currently I'm on console, so I can't look under the map, but pretty much right where all like the water is, because there's water right underneath me there, you could see the Eerie Skull. And people were like, what is happening here? Like, is this going to be added into the game? Because I believe some other items that were going to be added into the Halloween event, including the new pumpkin, was also underneath the map. So people thought that all these things were going to be, brought up quite literally into the limited stock section of Bob's Shack. Interestingly, the texture of the box of the Eerie Skull, I think, is the same texture, very similar in texture to the texture of the wood of Bob's Shack, as well as the texture of the box of the ostrich eye. So very interesting, a lot of similarities between those boxes and those textures right there. So prior to the skull's release into the game, it seemed like Defaultio was going to actually add this into the game. However, people began to exploit the skull into the game. I'll post some pictures and videos of people who have actually obtained the skull through exploiting, and pretty much it became an issue, not just because people exploited it into the game, but because they started duplicating it. So a lot of people began to have it, and Defaultio eventually, and unfortunately, removed the skull from the game because there was just so much of it. So many people don't actually understand what the purpose of the skull was going to be. Now it's currently kind of like hacker bait. If people exploit the skulls into the game, Defaultio has a script in the game that essentially bans anyone who has the Eerie Skull saved on their base. So you really can't exploit it into the game, or at least save it onto your base, or else you're going to be banned. So I am going to be showing you, or maybe I already did show you, a clip of somebody exploiting the skull and the box skull as well into the game, and that activity is going to get you banned. So I do not condone any of that exploiting or anything like that. So as you can see, just based on the pictures of the skull, it's quite an eerie skull, right? Just given the name. And the description of it, I didn't really mention that until now. It says, "This makes you slightly uncomfortable." That's kind of what eerie means. Where did it come from? Why can't you even buy this? So based on the description of it, it seems like maybe Defaultio was just using it to troll people, or for it to be hacker bait, bait for hackers to kind of get banned, for those who wanted to exploit it into the game. So maybe it wasn't Defaultio's intention to begin with to add it to the game. It's really not certain at this moment, but hey, it could be a feature, an item that we see added into a future Halloween event, or just a future update more generally. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see this added into the game. I think it looks super cool. I think it would have and serve a lot of use, especially during the Halloween times and the Halloween event. You can make some really cool bases, I think, and really cool designs and skeletons, probably, right, with this skull. So it looks super cool. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Do you want it to be added back in the game? What are your opinions of this? Were you around playing this game around the time it was hinted at and exploited into the game? Nowadays, you're not going to find it anywhere again because you're going to be banned for having it. So do not even think about trying to exploit it into the game. I only showed you that clip just to show you how people actually used to do it. So with that, that's pretty much the complete history of the Eerie Skull in Lumber Tycoon 2. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Like and subscribe, and turn on the bell for me so that you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.